Yeah, a couple of things that we've learned from Liverpool 2, West Ham 1. And I'll be honest with you, the result, happy days. So happy. But the performance, there's so many things to talk about. Before we do talk about that performance, let's just talk about some stats. Mo Salah is going to be the topic of a lot of these stats right now. 28th goal of the season for Mo Salah. 47 GA in all competitions. Listen, Liverpool need to win the Champions League. Probably the Premier League as well, if Liverpool want to get Mo Salah in a Ballon d'Or conversation. I think the Premier League is a good enough argument, especially with the season he's been having. But we all know the Ballon d'Or, they favor the Champions League winners as well. That's why Liverpool have to win both of those competitions if this guy wants to win the Ballon d'Or. Mo Salah is just too good. 263 GA in the Premier League. Both Hazard and Rashford combined got 263. But that's a bad one from Stat Moves FC, because why are you involving Rashford like that? That's just a poor one from them. Another stat for Mo Salah. Mo Salah in Premier League home games with Liverpool, 141 GA in 139 games. How is he doing more than a goal or assist per game? That's not normal, by the way. That is not normal. Out to Luis Diaz as well, already matching his goal tally from last season with 15 fewer games so far this season, which is very good. But remember, Luis Diaz had a very, very good start to the season. Arguably had a better start to the season than Mo Salah. Mo Salah obviously is just Mr. Consistent and he can carry that form throughout the season. Luis Diaz obviously had a small drop-off, but that's good because we're only now entering the later parts of February, and to have already matched his goal tally from last season shows that Luis Diaz is having his best season so far in a Liverpool shirt. One more stat here from the game for Mo Salah. Most goals scored at a single stadium in the Premier League. Mo Salah is after another Thierry Henry record. 101 goals for Mo Salah at Anfield, tied now with Wayne Rooney for Old Trafford. Aguero, 106 goals for Man City at the Etihad. Thierry Henry, 116 goals for Arsenal at Highbury. Now, Mo Salah will only be able to probably break that record if he signs a contract. Mo signed that bloody contract and then probably achieve that next season. This is the last stat to highlight from that game before I talk about the game itself. But Matheus Cunha, what a player. What a player. How has he signed a long-term deal with Wolves now? You deserve so much better. If I was an Arsenal fan, I would have been like, bro, why aren't you coming to Arsenal? Because you would have fitted in the Arsenal system so perfectly. But Matheus Cunha has scored 16 away goals since the start of last season. Only Erling Haaland, Mo Salah and Isak have more. Obviously, those three, if you had to talk about the best players in the Premier League, those three would be the best players. So he's currently the best of the rest. So that was a lot of stats. Now let's talk about my opinion on the game. I think Arne Slot has been exposed now. That Everton game, there's Wolves game, both teams now have managed to make Liverpool's midfield null and void. And that's Liverpool's best midfield. Both games, the Everton game and this one, we had Mac Allister, we had Szoboszlai, we had Gravenberch. But they managed to make Gravenberch null and void. There's not enough space for Alexis Mac Allister to work. And Szoboszlai, obviously, besides doing the pressing from the front, he couldn't really do much in this game as well. So both Everton and Wolves, they found a way for Liverpool to go wide. That was the way before Arne Slot came. With Jurgen Klopp, going wide was like the standard. Obviously, with Arne Slot, we introduced going through the middle a lot. Whether that be progressing from Gravenberch or creating the chances also outside the opposition's box. But now, both games now, Wolves and Everton has exposed us. They cut those channels off. They're not giving the midfield any space. It's definitely something that Arne Slot and Liverpool will have to work on. Obviously, as the season progresses, opposition teams do figure you out. So you have to change up the tactics a bit. This guy, it's taken until February 2025 now for him to finally say, I might need to change a few things. I might have to tweak the tactics a bit. That's the only thing now, in my opinion, Arne Slot will have to think about. Now it's time to show that managerial skills. Like I mentioned, the performance wasn't so good, but at least that result made us go 7 points clear from Arsenal again. But that performance, honestly, there were a lot of players that were below par. Virgil van Dijk as well. The Everton game wasn't so good. This game as well wasn't so good. Now, there's certain players that I have to highlight. You have to highlight your Endos. You have to highlight your Bradleys. Kwanzaa also. Last ditch tackle. Incredible. Arguably got us all 3 points because Wolves could have easily equalized there. But Endo, oh, what a player. Honestly, he has been so important for Liverpool throughout the season so far. He did what his job is supposed to do now. He knows he's not going to be a regular starter. But what does he do? He comes on and he seals the game up for Liverpool. He makes sure he shuts up shop. He He makes sure the opposition can't get any chances. And that's what he did today. He won fouls, stopped the play, disrupted Wolves. It was a very good performance from Endo. That was probably one of... That's a highlight performance. If we do end up winning this league, there's players like Endo, Kwanzaa and Bradley. I'll look back at this game. We as Liverpool fans will look back at this game and highlight those players. And now it's going to be a bit of a mental battle for Arsenal, because Liverpool will be versing Aston Villa next, giving Arsenal games in hand the whole time, because Liverpool will be playing one game extra. So now it will be a mental battle, because Liverpool can potentially extend the gap and Arsenal will feel like we're just not catching them. We're just not catching them. So it's all up. Listen, it's all up to Liverpool. Liverpool, we are 7 points clear. 25 games played. If you had to ask a Liverpool fan at the beginning of the season, would you take that? All of us would say yes, with open arms. Now it's if we do win this title, it's because of us. If we do lose this title, it's because of us as well. We can't let this go.